I've talked about it before. The Batman, a great show that used to air from around 2004 to 2008. In said video, I spoke of an animated movie that was based off the show, and that bad boy is what I want to talk about today. A film that shook me when I was little and one I can still enjoy today. Batman vs. Dracula. I know what you're thinking. Batman vs. Dracula? Very funny. What's next? Spider-Man vs. Beelzebub? But the goofy concept is certainly executed in a way that isn't radically stupid or excessively cartoony. I think in general, when creating a film like this, one needs to take the source material, the show itself, and the comics pretty seriously. And somehow, Michael Goguen and Duane Capizzi, director and writer of the film respectively, managed to create a movie that kids would not only enjoy, but a movie that would help kids distinguish the difference between something for all ages and something a lot darker. Now, as y'all know, Batman isn't the only dark hero that is popular at DC. The Sandman, described by Los Angeles Times Magazine as the greatest epic in the history of comic books, is coming to Audible, baby. That's right. This video is sponsored by Audible, the leading provider of audiobooks, and they want to showcase their collaboration with DC, a first ever audio production of this New York Times bestseller. In Neil Gaiman's epic, we follow Morpheus, the Dream Lord, as he's pulled from the Dream Realm and imprisoned on Earth. When he finally escapes, he must restore his power to rebuild his dominion, and that's only the beginning. Adapted and directed by Dirk Maggs, the audiobook features James McAvoy in the title role, and there's Kat Dennings, Riz Ahmed, and Michael Sheen. They're all voices as well, and this is the first installment of a multi-part original audio series which will rewrite the rules of audio entertainment. So, just go to audible.com/Sandman to listen to the exclusive Audible original, The Sandman, an adaptation decades in the making, for free, with a 30-day trial. That's right, one more time, baby. Just go to audible.com/Sandman to listen to this exclusive Audible original for free with a 30-day trial. Let me get something straight. This is a
journal, not a
Okay, sorry. Old habits die hard, I guess. Let me get something straight. This film is no Batman Mask of the Phantasm. It isn't even close, actually. Nor is it a Return of the Joker. Rewatching the movie, I remembered what I loved about it, what made it great, but it most definitely wasn't as good as I remembered. But one thing that did stick out to me is that when the movie shines, it really shines. I think the best parts of this film are the very beginning and the very end, because the movie is really driven here by character motivation rather than the plot happening to the characters. The film actually begins in this super unconventional way. It's just text, man. It's this beautiful, elegant title sequence where the music by Thomas Chase Jones just smacks you in the ears because it's absolutely chilling and sets the tone for the film. Right away, you already know this is not your typical To remain atypical, the film actually begins with the points of view of the Penguin and the Joker, and eventually we get to the Batman. These two villains are both looking for treasure at Gotham Cemetery, and two events occur at the same time. Penguin is looking for the treasure and stumbles upon Dracula's grave, and the Joker and Batman are fighting somewhere in the city. And then we get blood? In my children's TV show? Anyways, with this insertion of blood, straight up, the film immediately tells the viewer that, yes, this is Dracula. There ain't no plasma being sucked, it's blood, bitch. So Batman fights Joker, Joker falls off a precipice to Gotham River with a joy buzzer in his hand, so it's electrified, and dies. He's gone. He's dead. Remember this dude?
The circuit!
Forget him. Well, technically he didn't die. But then he dies again, baby! Up until the point where Joker dies, this is about 13 minutes into the film, and then Penguin is captured by Dracula, who instigates the plot of the film. Dracula in this film, voiced by Peter Stormare, is a great antagonist to the Batman, actually. He keeps infecting people, and even encounters Batman as just Bruce Wayne.
Dr. Alucard.
And he's incredibly creepy. They really made this historical character feel out of place in the modern world, and I love the film for that. He even infects this one caterer who is almost designed to be bitten by a vampire.
Looking for some munchies?
This leads to one of my favorite scenes in the entire film, where Alfred figures out that vampires are real by simply looking at a mirror. Simple but scary concepts like this are what make the film so shocking. It's all in the execution. Joker, when he transforms into a vampire, goes into a blood bank. Alright, cool, but then what happens? It literally rains blood. The film really makes the most out of its PG rating. It's also really great to see Vicky Vale in this film, and she interacts with Bruce Wayne as just Bruce Wayne, and it's really nice to see what Batman's downtime is like. The biggest problem this film has is its pacing. And when I say it has a pacing problem, I really mean it. The film drags incredibly hard at a certain point as it keeps cutting back to the Penguin f***ing around with Dracula, and
nobody cares.
The film runs for 83 minutes, and if it was cut like a good 8 minutes, ending up at 75 minutes, I feel like the movie would have been a much easier watch. Thankfully though, the film has a lot of good in it that makes sitting through its pacing issues worth it, primarily Batman and Dracula's dynamic. Side note, the Batman is being hunted as people believe he's responsible for the people of Gotham mysteriously vanishing. This leads to a scene where Batman has to run away from SWAT. This is kind of what I mean when the plot just kind of happens to Batman. But anyway, this scene in particular reminds me a lot of Batman Year One. The show itself has also taken inspiration from not only that comic book, but all Batman media, and it's such a great scene. We see SWAT members being just quietly taken down, and you're like, oh, you know, it's Batman, right? But no. But it's not. It's freaking Dracula. It's such a nice subversion. Delving deeper into Batman and Dracula, it's a battle between the old and the new. Two supernatural beings who represent fear and the night to some extent are to face one another. The one who stands victorious is the one who truly represents these things. The film's story feels a lot less like a simple battle between two superpowered opponents, and instead feels like a battle between two legendary creatures fighting for control and dominance over a city. So, who is the most powerful mythological being?
I'm the Batman.
Oh shit, he's gonna say it!
And you're dust.
This movie is pretty good, but at the same time, it f***ing rules. It's kind of weird, but that's how I feel about it. It was definitely a banger during my childhood, and I'm glad I was able to watch it again. I love how dark it gets, and I love how violent too. The action sequences are top-notch, Joker steals every scene he's in, and the final confrontation with Dracula is also damn great. Of course, the Alfred lover I love that he actively helps Batman out at the end. Such a good moment. Batman vs. Dracula, I think, is on that DC app as well as HBO Max, so definitely check it out if you haven't, and if you have and haven't seen it in a while, well, there you go. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have to go and suck my neighbor's blood real quick. See ya. Thank you very much, Speedster Creations, for the fan art. Looks sick as hell, man. Much love. You have made it to the outro. Thank you so much for watching. Check out Interstellar Ranger Commence, the anime I'm making. Link in the description. It's time to answer the Patreon question of the video. Jens Chavez asks, what would be your dream work? I don't know if this means dream job or dream, like, work. My dream job would be, I think at the moment, probably making Browntable, like an actual company. Like, I've always envisioned, like, a Rooster Teeth type thing, but just, you know, pre-Warner Brothers Rooster Teeth. Because I kind of feel like I would want it to stand as its own thing. I don't want it to be like a subsidiary, so I don't know, maybe that's just me. And dream work, like, I guess that would be what I would love to make. I don't know, I've always wanted to direct, like, a Spider-Man movie or something like that, you know, but, you know, obviously, it'll never happen, that. But it would be dope, honestly. And if we're talking specifics of, like, stuff that I've created, it would be so cool to make, you know, the anime I'm making, Interstellar Ranger Commence, and make it, like, I really don't know, like, it would be, like, it feels like it's so small at the moment, saying how big it would be, you know, I don't know if it'll ever become as big as I'm imagining it to be. I would just love it to, you know, stream online, you know. I would just love it to, I don't know, be like an original somewhere, or like make it like a movie, and, you know, just be cool to get like the entire cast in like one place. You know what I mean? Like a like that would be so cool to me. I'm freaking out, but yeah, I guess that would be my answer to both questions. Thank you very much for asking those questions. Thank you all so much for coming to the table, and I'll see you all next time.